FLAG is proudly celebrating our 72nd annual exhibition and symposium. My name is Claire Radigan, and it is my great pleasure to introduce to you Rosa Valladares and her session number 5, Put Yourself Out There. This presentation is being recorded for later publication and public access, and so we request that you remain muted throughout. Your questions are encouraged, but we ask that you hold them until the Q&A session at the end of the presentation. You can also text your questions into the chat. As a courtesy, please keep your questions succinct and on topic. Now, before we start, we have some technical issues to work out. So give us a minute or two. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. Put yourself up there. That's the title. I'm sorry. My name is Rosa Valladares, as Claire say, and I'm a new member of FLAG. So I'm so excited of being a member and having this presentation for you guys. I prepared the best I can, so I hope you like it, and I hope that it's very informative. Sorry for the technicals. I don't know why did we have these problems. So writing a biography is writing an artist biography, which is different from just a regular biography. This is what is going to introduce you to the art world. So you have to provide some few tips, or I'm going to also, and I'm going to explain what it is, why do you need it, and what to include, plus a few examples that we can talk about this. So let's start. Your artist biography is a tool to give thoughtful perception of you as an artist. Let's put it this in general, is your artist career, your artist size. It has nothing to do with your work besides being an artist, or with your life besides being an artist. This is all about your art, the art that you are doing, and how do you present it. This writing should include, besides some information about you, some accomplishments, some awards, exhibitions, grants, residency, all related to your artist path and experience that you have as an artist, okay? What is this artist biography? First, this is a writing that is done in a third person. So you cannot say I, no, you have to say she, he. For me, make it easier to write a biography when I write with I, but then I read again and I change the I for a he, or I mean for a she, for the third person. And of course, after that, you have to continue reading the whole sentence and do some variations. Okay, that's one tip that I do. I find that it's kind of helpful to me. It had to bring to the reader a narrative about how you are as an artist. In other words, it's kind of a resume, but the resume is writing in a listing format, and this biography is in editorial style. So you are talking a little more. A Q tip, this is, it has to contain a brief description of what your art is about. And it's different for the artist statement. The artist statement is more focused to your specific artwork, like how you have, where the inspiration come from, the materials, the style. That's your artist statement. So we are not talking about this. We are talking about how do you get to there, to the artist statement. So what do you need? I think that these 3 points, or starting points, I found more helpful. It is for people who want to know more about you as an artist. It helps people to understand what makes you unique and tell them about the journey. How did you get to where you are now as an artist? This is also important. It provides prospective buyers, galleries, owners, curators, all these people related with the art, knowledge about you. They want to know about your career, your accomplishments, before they want to decide to invest in your art and promote you. So it's not about where you come from, what do you do, how do you do it. No, it's your art and how do you present that. So what to include? It should be writing, as I say, in a third person. It's a short description, so 250 words is more better. It's okay to include your past, but you should include your art instruction in there, your influences, and what events have shaped you as an artist, okay, or in your artist direction. Where you born and where you live now, it depends if that is related to what are you doing in your art right now. So you don't have to put that. We will see some examples where you will find out that, yes, to mention where are you, yes, Nancy.
Are you advancing the slide project program at all, Rosa? Because we're still on the first slide.
Oh my, okay, so then I will have to do this way.
Yes, do it that way. I'm sorry, everybody's asking the question, is she having technical difficulties? So.
Okay, so then we were here.
Okay.
We were here, what to include. And I was saying here in number 4, that you include where you born and where do you live now, if it's related to the art that you are doing now. If not, you don't need to, it's not necessary to do it. It should present an evolving criteria of your career. So from the most important influences and experience that have to be added to how those influence or it makes you grow in your art career. More cue tips are include your only experiences that are related to your art or your art vision. Be very professional, okay? Avoid colloquialisms and other languages, just very professional. Avoid the biographies that begin with the childhood. You don't have to start from there. You don't have to put your high school. You don't have, just mention the most important things. If something like it happened in high school, it still be connected to what is your art right now. So some awards, you don't need to mention marriage, children, or places or hobbies. You don't need nothing about that. This is just writing about your art. If someone is interested in buying your art or showing your art in the gallery, they are more interested in your career credentials, not what you did as a child, yes? So for sometimes you can also use some art codes if they are related to your art again, or use your own. Create different versions of your artist biography for different purposes if you need it, depending if you want to be specific to for instance, to a gallery or an institution, and your art have some connection with that institution. So then it will be very specific to that institution. Or if you wanted to do it as a gallery or any other presenter, so you just have a different way. You won't change much, but some parts you will need to change. What I found specific, all these that I'm doing now are my whole collection of my research in the internet. Not a few things from here is new from me. So what I found the most specific and important things are these. To choose the right information. Begin with some background information of yourself, your name, of course, the medium that you are using, that you're applying, and you can also include if it's related again, where do you born, if it's related, or how is your work, and discuss any art training or schooling if you have any degrees. If not, that's okay. You just keep going past how do you find your art in your way of living, in your life. Some people will have all that collection of the education, you know, they went to the school, they are at the school, some grants and assistantship, but others don't have none of that. But you still have a way to present your art, and you have to do it in a very professional and a very interesting way. Then we have then move on to discussion your exhibitions, because if you don't have much education in that way, then your exhibitions are the ones that are going to support your art as an artist. Your achievement, whatever a professional achievement that you had that are related, everything had to be related to your art. Be sure not to overview the reading with too much self-promotion at the same time. You know, choose the best things that you can put. Then go into to explain or to present the important projects that you are working in, or even if you don't think that is important, you just mention that this is what are you doing right now, actually. If you have done a close or early installation or presentation, you just mention that. Try to, as I put it here, end strong with any upcoming exhibitions, residencies, or projects. Editing. You can do some of your own editing. Make sure you keep your artist biography short and concise with a focused structure. It's, as I said, this is very easy to talk. Maybe at the beginning, you can just write, and then start reading again and cut some parts that you say, no, not this. Simple and readable is what I say. Also, you can share with a friend, one that can have a knowledge of art, one that have some knowledge in writing. They can help you. You share with them, and both maybe can come out with some ideas. This part no, this part yes. Select what is the most important. Of course, the last one that I put, but not the least, check for spelling, grammar, word choice, and sentences, structure of sentences. Now we have a few examples, so it will give you some idea. In these two, the first one that is a Los Angeles-based photographer, Mallory, has been honing her skills in underwater photography for the past several years. Originally a dancer photographer, Mallory blended her photography skills with her 24 years dance experience. Mallory's evolution into underwater photography allowed her to introduce another element. So as we see, she didn't start, she doesn't have any that studying here or studying there or that. No, she just went and she put from where she's coming from, where she lives, and somehow the dance skills or experience is mentioned because that influence in her actual work of art. The next one we have, not far from home, and see how they enter to, how they introduce themselves. It's not just like, my name is blah, 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 and I did that. No, try to find different ways to start the introducing of yourself. Not far from home is where Isabel finds her inspiration to paint. And check how she explained this. The local diner, the pizzeria, the church on the corner, the drugstore, the beach, the bar. She pays attention to retro signs and storefront facades, to cigarettes and handbags. Look at how she's getting into how she's going already giving, or she's giving already the whole information of how she does her artwork. She notices the sadness, the loneliness, the anticipation, and that is precisely yet paintingly what she brings into the canvas. So instead of maybe say, I pay attention to the everyday's people, or the details in people. It's a different way to present it, exactly the same. And now I say, raised in South Carolina and recently returned after 30 years away, Isabel draws from a successful career in graphic design and illustration. Now she is telling us where she comes from, where her studies. So there is not really an order. It's not like you have to start from explain or giving your education first and then what you do. It's up to you. This other one, for my appreciation, it's a little too much informative. I think that I could have more of what she's presenting. For instance, Andrea Weldel is an American painter who has been living and working in France for the past 24 years. Originally from San Francisco, California, Andrea moved to the south of France in 2008, where she's once again found sun-drenched landscapes and brilliant expanses of sea, both major sources of inspiration of her painting. Okay, I mean that she had to mention all that, but okay. Second, a formerly professionally trained actress, Andrea started painting immediately after arriving in France. The daughter of and granddaughter of artists, the shifts from performing art to visual arts come easily and naturally. In Paris, she studied under several teachers before finding Michel Massou a leader. Do we need that? Do we need to know? I mean, I don't see that paragraph is really important in here. Andrea parts in both semi-abstract and abstract. So jumping from the first paragraph to the second paragraph, I think it would be perfect, because this training actress that she's mentioning and coming from parents or grandparents that were artists, it doesn't really say that influence is an influence on her own artwork. Then you can see Andrea began regularly showing her work annual group shows at Paris exhibition, at the space in 2005, and in addition to several other galleries in Paris. So now she's describing where is she doing her exhibitions. A quick tip, I found that some questions, there is a list, if you look in the internet, there is a list of questions, but this may help you too. Answering these questions. Who are you? What do you do? When did you start doing what are you doing? Where are you? Why do you choose to produce the work you do? How are you accomplishing what you claim to do? These are kind of the basics. And final recommendations to start is like, what you need to know is, why is this artist biography asking for? To promote your art on your website, blog about the artist page, or to create your profile in your social media platform. Provide material in your cover letter to a gallery or other art official. Give to a publicity outlet, an editor, featuring editors in the magazines or radios or TV hosts. Add your exhibition press release. Sometimes when you go and do exhibitions in a gallery and they are planning to announce it on the magazine or a newspaper, they ask for a press release, so they need a little bit. And in this case, it has to be very short because they are going to mention a little bit for all the artists in the exhibitions, unless it's your individual exhibition, then you can make it a little bigger. To include in a brochure or a catalog, then it has to be very short because it's going to be with many other participants. Add to your proposal for a grant, lecture, workshop, or panel discussion. Usually if you go to apply for a grant or a scholarship, there are these institutions that offer this kind of help to artists. Then you have to do this. You have to write your artist statement. You have to write your artist biography, your resume, and all that is all the documents that they are asking in order to know, are you valuable? What are you doing? Is that what I want? That's our institution is you feed on it. So they need to know all that. And that's it. This is a very short one. I hope that this was helpful. And still it has 2 more pages in this website where you can find there is more questions like, did you study art in school, or were you self-taught? There is many other questions that you can consider. See the list in order to write, to follow up, to have these questions are not in order, okay? It's not like you have to follow 1, 2, 3, 4, no, but those are the questions that you have to consider. You can consider when you write your biography. It will help you. Nancy said that she will post this presentation for a month. So if you would like just to go back and check the questions, so that will help, or just go in the internet and you will find almost the same thing, if not some are the same. Questions now. Try to be very brief, very direct to the point. No questions?
I see a question on the chat. This person is asking if we can get this slide presentation later to be able to actually read it.
I just mentioned as what did you say? Oh, I can see now the question.
Yeah.
Are the PowerPoint slides supposed to be changing? What do you mean, Renee?
That was at the beginning, Rosa, when you were having problems.
We have problems.
So,
okay, can we get the slide check after the presentations? Now
yes, you'll be able to get the program will be downloaded and provided to you, to all of you, and to those people that had registered without any problem.
Okay. Any other questions besides technical problems?
Mm-hmm. Will we receive that in an email, or is it, do we need to go somewhere to check?
I believe that Margaret will be sending you a link to the presentation. It will be uploaded onto our YouTube and made available to anybody that attends this or signed up for this presentation, and anyone that is interested during the time that it is visible for you to see it. Yes.
Thank you. Thank you, Rosa. This was really informative, and appreciate your feedback. I think the biggest takeaway for me was only include things if it is influencing your art. And I appreciate how you reinforce that over and over again, and within different elements that I would have, maybe in the past had considered, oh, well, other than that, this has to go in because it's a bio, but only really if it influences your art. So I appreciate that. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. I see Cheryl have one question. They say, how do you balance the idea that buyers buy the artist? Oh, hold on, not the art. I don't agree with that statement. But many buyers want to know more about the artist than just what they are doing. Well, as I said as well, there is different ways to do it, and you have to have the different perspectives for that. If you know that this person, this client wants to know more about the artist, then you write more about the artist. But again, it has to be related to the artist and what the art is about. You cannot just go, I have 8 children and I have a nice house. That doesn't have nothing to do with your art. It has to be everything related to your art. And when I say that the buyers buy the artist, and no, I didn't say not the art, or if you misunderstood. But when I say buy the artist, is because sometimes some institutions have a specific way or discipline in their art. For instance, there are some institutions that are more into the modern instead of the classic. So if you are a modern artist or are some exhibitions are for just visual artists, but the ones that know or care, their art is related to the media, performances, interacting pieces of art using computer. If you are not like that, and it doesn't mean that you are not a good artist, it's just that some institutions have a specific ways or characteristics to look for or to find in the artist. They want to know if you are a classical, if you are an artist that are aggressive, that look for different techniques. You are not a traditional, or you are a traditional. I know the other ones. Do you have more skills into the media, the virtual media, or not? So I'm referring into that part. You know, some institutions are very specific on what they want as an artist for their exhibition or for their scholarship or for their grant. It's in this way that I say. So every artist have to know where do you fit in those different branches in the art. Any other question? And you are the ones that you can sell yourself. Nobody else knows you better than you. So you have to know, and that's difficult. I mean, trust me, it's not easier. It's not easy even for me. I had to really put myself out and sometimes it's hard to do it, but it's like, I had to give me all the flowers for me, because that's the only way that I'm going to sell my art and put myself out there. Otherwise, I can't. You have to find someone that can do it for you. You know, there is that other way too. Someone else can do it for you. Then you have to pay for that.
Thank you, Rosa.
You're very welcome.
Are there any more questions? I guess not. On behalf of Florida Artist Group, thank you for joining us for Putting Yourself Out There by Rosa Valladares. We hope you have been enjoying this live presentation. A link to the video recording of this presentation will be sent to you in the next few days. At the end of the session, this short survey will be sent to you. I hope you will reply. Some programs still have openings, so please review our roster of events and register by visiting www.floridaartistgroup.org. Thank you.
All right.